Hey, Gina. Hello there. Can you hear me? Here we go. Let's get cooking. So, what do I have tonight? Well, I've had a little bit of difficulty with my ankles and feet. So, I'm taking a couple days rest. So, I did not go out and go grocery shopping today. So, I'm going to use some of the red lentil chili and I'm just going to dress it up a bit. And then I'm going to do clafouti because I want to show people how you make this strange sounding dish, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. Hey, all right. Tina says she can see me and hear me. Sorry about the light glare. Okay, so the first thing I did with the clafouti is I gathered up 2 pounds of frozen fruit, and she doesn't really say whether she thaws it or not, but I'm assuming she thaws it. So I just let it sit out and thaw, and then the pineapple was separate from the mixed berry frozen mix. So I've stirred it up. So next, we have to make the topping. So, before I did the topping, earlier, I did the chia jam. So to do that, chia jam. So I just took a pound of blueberries, and they were frozen, so I let them thaw, and then I I put them in um, the food processor and processed them. And then I added 2 tablespoons of chia and ran the processor again and just stuck it in this dish. And whoop, I got chia jam. So that was pretty cool. That's the first time I've made that. And Susanna says that she actually cooks her berries, but AJ just does it raw, so I figured I would too. All right, so let me get a bowl to mix the oat mixture in. So that's all we do is we mix in the other ingredients that I've gathered up. And so I've got 2 cups of oats. I've got some baking powder, and she doesn't put any spices in, so I put in some cardamom, cinnamon, nutmeg, and I guess that's it. So put that in. And then, oops, there's still more in there. Oh, and the baking powder. And then a half a cup of applesauce, and I had pear sauce, so I'm using pear sauce because that's what I had in my freezer. And then a cup of my homemade soy milk. I always have to stir it up because I don't strain it, so it's nice and it's whole food, substantial, and it's delicious when I use it in cooking. I'll just mix that up. So the 10-ounce jar of fruit, I guess that gets mixed in with the fruit. Sliced fruit and mix well with the jam. Okay. All right. So it's supposed to be 10 ounces of jam. So I'll measure it. And measure it in this. Oh, you can see it. Who's here? Gina. That's smart to process chia seeds also. I put them in whole and it wasn't too thick. Oh, I thought when chia was in fluid that it thickened no matter what, even if you didn't process it. Okay. So I need ounces here. Yeah, let's see what 10 ounces of this jam is. It was a pound of blueberries, so I would imagine almost. Okay, we got a little bit over there. Heaven forbid we go over on our sugar, right? we go. That's a substantial amount. So we'll just put this on more whole fruit. Mix it around. And what I like to do with the clafouti is cook it while we're eating dinner so that it comes out nice and warm. What you got there, Gene? I think it would get thicker if grind chia seeds. Well, yeah. But I mean, like if you put it in your plant milk before you eat your oatmeal, it turns it into a gel, not ground. The chia seeds, they're not like flax, where when they get wet, try it. When they get wet, they get gooey, like gelatinous. Whole chias. So I don't know. I think if they're dry, you need to grind them. But as long as you're getting them wet, they'll get gooey. And so there's that. Well, it does kind of look thick, doesn't it? Hi, Annette. Good to see you. Okay, now I just add this oat mixture on top. Oh, this is so good, you guys. I don't know why nobody's making it. I keep saying, who's making clafouti? And the milk, it just makes the topping a whole different texture than the fruit cobbler. She says to do it in an 8x8, but I don't have an 8x8, so hopefully this will be sufficient. I mean, I've made it in this one before, and it worked out just fine. So I fasted for 24 hours with this ankle and foot issue. It was already bothering me when we were down there in Sacramento, and it just isn't going away. So I thought, well, I'm going to rest and fast to give it double healing power. And so I'm not walking my 2 walks, which, my 2 walks are like 5 miles total. So it really wasn't showing any pattern. It wasn't getting any better or worse with what I was doing. So I thought, all right, I got to do something, because when it does get sore, I can hardly walk on my feet, and I limp. Something's not right. And oh, my feet were swelling. I took my sock off, and I had these, I wear a toe ring, and the toe ring felt like it was pinching me. And of course I ignored it, thinking, well, I didn't mean to ignore it, but it was like, I got to fix that toe ring. It would always be after when I started out for a walk. And then of course, by the end of the walk, I'd forget all about it. So I kept forgetting. And then I finally looked at it, and my toes like a sausage. So no wonder it was getting pinched. So I'll treat anybody but myself, right? Pretty Girl's mom. Hi, Pretty Girl's mom. And Jean. Hi, Jean. Good to see you all. So this is my clafouti, and I'm going to bake it in the oven at 350 for 45 minutes, I think. Does she say bake for 45 to 50 minutes? And I like to get it nice and cooked, nice and brown and bubbly. It's so good. So I'm going to cook it just before we eat dinner. And then I'll post a picture of it in Instagram, so you guys can see. But I did it last time too, so I don't know. You guys probably already saw my finished clafouti, but I didn't show anybody how I fixed it. I don't want anybody to be intimidated by it. So now I've got this frozen red lentil soup thawing, because I'm resting my feet. I didn't go grocery shopping today. So I'll probably go tomorrow, but today I was concerned that I would be doing too much too soon. And I was just coming off the fast. And at the first feed that I did was just a Goldner smoothie. And so then at lunchtime, I had a raw food, salad, and one of the stuffed kabocha squashes, half of a stuffed kabocha squash. So I mix the cooked with the raw, and then tonight I'll eat the soup with what I'm going to add to it. So I don't know. For some reason, I just thought, wouldn't it be good to add some onion to the red lentil soup? And then I'm going to put in garlic and mushrooms. You can't go wrong. And then I thought a cup of corn. I don't know why. I just want to try it. It just seems like it would go good with the red lentils. And I harvested my sprouts and started a new batch. And so here we are on we're starting it new again. And so they're at the beginning of their first day. So I'll go ahead and rinse those. I can do two things at once. So today we started on extending our bedroom because with the remodel, the bedroom ended up too small and we don't have any closet space. So now we're going to extend it a little bit so we have closet space. So our builder Edgar came over today and he took a wall out and measured. They're going to get their 2x4s tomorrow and frame the inner walls. And then we've got a couple of outer walls that we're going to put in to extend the bedroom another 7 feet. So we've moved our bed. I haven't made it or anything, but can you see it over there? No, you can't see it because the kitchen table's in the way. I don't know how far I can go because I'm plugged in here. Wait a sec. So we get a nice view anyway. Wonder if you can see. Oh yeah, you can see now. So there's our view. We live in heaven. So nice. I just love it. Love it here. You have to drag me out of here. Yes, that's Liberty Bay. And to the north there is the Paulsbo Yacht Club, and then Paulsbo, the little town of Paulsbo, which they call Little Norway. Yes, Gina, onion makes everything better. Hello again to Jean. Yes, 7 wonderful feet. And, my bathroom, I should show you that there was such little space that we didn't put the wall up between the bathroom and the bed. And so I've just been using a couple of shelving units to give me a little privacy. And then Stephen has his. We each have our own bathroom because we're old, and we invariably have to pee or poop at the same time. So we thought we need 2 toilets in here. So we went ahead and did that. And then he says, "Well, I'm going to put a shower and go the whole thing, sink, shower, and toilet." Let me put the fan on here. So amazing how the light comes off these windows. So we got a skylight that we want to put in, and we ordered a big 3-foot window, full length windows that we're going to put on the north. So you see this 9-foot one here. That's a 9-footer. Doesn't look like a 9-footer from here, but it is. And we're going to put a similar on the north wall of the bedroom. And then we're going to have the sliding glass door on the west wall. So the north wall is the wall that I was just showing you that points towards the little town of Paulsbo. And then the west wall is of course, the beachside wall. And so that'll be like, we like camping out. So it'll be just like camping out. You're old. No, you're not. Well, I mean, I don't have the bladder control that I used to, or the bowel control. We've lived here. COVID started in March. We moved in here. I was on a bike ride and I fell off my bike and broke my pelvis in 3 places, broke my nose, had a blunt force trauma to my chest, really bruised up my ribs. What else did I hurt? I don't know. I was in the hospital overnight. And so we used to live above the garage here, and I couldn't go up any stairs. So we asked if we could move into the house because the owners were good friends of ours, and they had gone up to Alaska on an adventure. And then we weren't here in the house more than a week. And they said, they bought a house up in Homer, Alaska, and they wanted to sell the house. So we said, well, we want to buy it. And we did, and up until then we were like, we're not going to own anything anymore. We're going to travel. We're always going to be on our bikes or going over to, some other country. And we don't want to be straddled down with a house and all that entails. But we just looked at each other like in a second and said, let's buy it. So we did. We bought this place, and they were so happy that we were going to be the buyers because we would take care of the place when they were gone, because we'd always try to stay here when we come back to this area after being traveling, and we always came back to this area because we love it here. So yeah, it just fell right into place, Gina. And so that was, we closed November 30th, 2020. So we've been here 21, 22, going on our 3rd year. And the west side here, it was all stuffed. There was, the kitchen was at the other end. There was a bathroom, a laundry room, and a tiny little office room. And, covered up all this beautiful beach. So we tore it all out and put it on the east side where there's no beach, so that we've got all the windows. And we just love it. I just love it. It's like being outside. I just love it. Oh, I'm not showing you what I'm doing. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm too busy talking. Yeah, it was a terrible accident, but I'm a PT. It was kind of fascinating for me. Oh yeah, I had a head injury too, Gene. I bounced like 10 to 12 times, the guy behind me said, and he still cringes when he thinks about it. Okay, I'm going to add mushrooms, and I should point this down so you can see what I'm doing. I need you to remind me, Gina. So I'll put these mushrooms in, get lots of nice umami. I wonder, I should put a little turmeric and pepper in there, huh? This is my chance. Let me get those mushrooms cooking. There's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And so I'm going to put in half a teaspoon of turmeric. Yeah, what the heck? I like lots of it. And that'll turn it a nice orange. And then we'll activate it with a little bit of pepper. Maybe half of one of pepper. A hefty half. All right. I love fasting for 24 hours. I was thinking the first of every month, or, around that time, just to kind of set up the stage for each month. I don't know if I'll do it every month, but we did it January 1st, and then I did it yesterday. And Stephen actually already did one because he had an upset tummy. And I'll tell you, fasting can be the fastest turnaround. And we just experiment with it, because if it'll take the stress of digestion off the body's plate for that day, then so be it. I've been reading that oldest cure book, and they're giving the history of fasting. That's kind of interesting. Oh, I got to rinse my sprouts, don't I? They don't usually sit that long. I hope that's okay. I guess I'll find out. Yeah, and that it gives the body a good rest. Wow, Annette, you started fasting for 24 hours once a week. Wow, that from what to what? You go from that. I mean, I did about 36 hours actually because I started at 8 o'clock on today's Tuesday, Sunday, and then I started having something this morning at 8 a.m. So 8 to 8 to 8, so 12, 24 and 12, 36 hours. And I don't know, that's what we did in January too. Okay, so I'm just putting the sprouts back to bed. Boy, I'm just making a racket tonight. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this separate, and then when we make a bowl of soup of what we're going to eat tonight, we'll just go ahead and add some to it if we want. Or we can have it on the side. I make so much noise, don't I? But I'm glad you can hear me. That was awful when I did those couple of YouTubes and there was no sound. Go through all that and then find out there's no sound. Weird. All right. Let's bring you closer so you can see what I'm doing here. Get close up. I don't know. What do you think? Doesn't that look good? It just popped into my head today. 36 hours for your colonoscopy. Oh, but you had broth, so not a water fast. Yeah, broth is what got me through that fifth day of when I was fasting at True North. So how long you been doing it? Once a week, Annette? Noon to noon. Okay. Yeah, tell me how many weeks. Jean, I couldn't imagine fasting either until after I went to True North and did it for 5 days. Now 24 hours is kind of fun. I don't know. It's just a different experience. And you have to slow down, which is really good for me. So you're not supposed to do anything. Done it twice? Yeah, so I've done it twice too. January and January 1st and then yesterday. But I really like it. I would like to do, I kind of like to do a 3-day, but I've got so much going with this Back to Eden gardening. And now the bedroom remodel's going on. I mean, even tonight, he was making all kinds of racket in there today. And I thought, geez, I'm not going to be able to do it. But then he left at 4. So that was good. Also, the fellow, the Back to Eden fellow that I'm going to go visit on Friday that does the gardening with wood chips, he really needs some work done. And I'd love to have Edgar go meet him and see if he'd help him out, because Edgar does things for real reasonable. And that'd be great. He could help him out. So I just turned the heat off. I think this is going to be fine. Just let it sit until we eat. And Steven has to do his evening walk yet. So, and this is still thawing. So I'll take a picture of it and stick it on Instagram. I forgot to put my Instagram thing on the in the show notes, or I don't know if I can do that now. I'll put it in here. So it's at Love to Cycle Ricky. That's my Instagram. Does Edgar want to come to San Jose? Probably. But he does have a lot of work here. So he's, first of all, I don't want him getting too many jobs until he gets our job done, because now that he started it, things are torn apart again. So we're going to have to wait until he puts them all back together. So that's it. We got the cooking. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get the groceries and I'll do something more tomorrow. Oh, Jean, you walked around Paul's farm or your farm in deep snow with snowshoes and our dog. 20 minutes seemed like an hour. Yeah, that would if there was snow. Ouch. So I guess I'll say goodnight and go put my feet up. And thanks for joining me tonight, guys. Oh, your farm. Okay. 8 to 10. Is that the name of your farm? Is your farm on Facebook? You bet, Annette. Have a good evening. And I hope I see you guys tomorrow. So take care. Good night.